Hi, Roma. How are things?
I'm good. How are you?
Enjoying the sunshine over there, you are?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Too warm or lovely?
There's parts of the day where it's too warm for me, but the rest of the time it's really nice.
Good. Well, it's about 13 degrees here, so enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, so I can't complain, I suppose.
Yeah. Could just come back to the game against the Philippines, your first start under Vera Pau. Great win. How much confidence will you take from that performance?
I think personally I'll take a lot of confidence from that performance. I haven't started in a few years here. I only came into camp last year under Vera. And I think I've previously won senior start. So I think to get that start and play the 90 minutes for me was really important.
As a team, what were the pleasing aspects? Because it didn't all go your way. You had to kind of dig out the result. So what were the pleasing aspects of the performance for you as a team?
I think overall first half we probably played better than the second. We moved the ball well. But then the second half we stuck it out, and I think they put us under a bit of pressure and had a few chances, but it was pleasing that we could hold on to the result.
Looking ahead then to Georgia, what did you take from the Philippines performance and from previous performances in this campaign that you're going to use to impose your game plan on them? What are the challenges you feel they're going to pose for you?
So obviously we've played Georgia before, but I think it's going to be a whole different ball game. I know they might have been missing a lot of players and stuff from COVID back when we beat them. I think it was 11-0. So we kind of just have to expect unexpected, really. We have to go out and play our own game. We have to, I think, create more chances than we did against the Philippines, definitely, and take those chances when they come.
Well, that actually segues nicely into the next thing I'm going to ask you. Denise O'Sullivan is joining you. I don't know if she's in squad yet with you from the Courage, but obviously she signed off nicely with that goal on Sunday. Were you surprised to see she had that in her locker?
Not really. Like, thinking back to the last Georgia game, she got a hat-trick, and they were all different types of goals, and they were all great finishes. So when I woke up and seen she scored that goal, I was very pleased. It's very nice.
Yeah, it was an absolute dinger.
Yeah, it was great.
And Lily Agg scoring on her debut, Stephanie Roach coming back into the team, Denise, like yourself, starting. There seems to be great momentum building within this team. Is it the strongest point an Ireland team has been at since you've been involved with the national team?
I really do think so. Like last game against Sweden, I missed out on the camp, but I was in America watching the game, and I just think before the game there's just this belief that we can get something out of it, and obviously we showed that by getting the draw, and we maybe could have even won the game. But I think that's different to other years where you're playing against, I think they're number 2 in the world, and you really strongly believe that you can get something out of the game.
So Georgia next Monday, and then in September you've Finland and Slovakia. So it's not by any manner or means a sure thing that you're going to get through the qualification stages, but there must be a huge amount of confidence and belief that you can make it to World Cup.
There definitely is. I think obviously our focus is the Georgia game, and hopefully if we win that one, we do win that one, then we'll shift our focus to the next. But there is a strong belief that we can get there.
Good luck on Monday. Thanks a million.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, can you hear me there? Hi, Roma.
Hey, how are you doing?
How are you doing? You're talking about the confidence in the squad, but I suppose because of the success of the campaign so far, it brings added pressure. And a lot of people will look at the previous game against Georgia, think 11-0. It's just a case of turn up next Monday and it's job done. But how do the players cope with that pressure where there's previous games, you referenced the Sweden game where you would have been underdogs. This is a game that you expect to win. It's a very different type of game to manage.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, but I think that we prepare for each game as best as we can, no matter who the opponents are. So coming up to the Georgia game, we'll prepare as professionally as we do coming up to the Sweden game. So I think that's almost as important important as anything is international football can bring anything, so you have to be well prepared for everything you get.
And you obviously came on in that game against Georgia and Tala. You'll be hoping to feature next Monday. Is that something that becomes clearer as the week goes on? Certain things that happen on the training ground where Vera might give an indication, a role that you might have next Monday?
Yeah, of course, days leading up to the game, you might have an idea in your head if you're going to be playing or not, or maybe if you're starting or not. But I think nothing is set in stone until the team is named on game day for me, because you never know what twists and turns it might take. So it's about being prepared.
And we're just talking about the heat, obviously. In Turkey, you played the full 90 minutes against the Philippines. How long did it take you to recover from that? How much water did you have to take on board after the game? And you're obviously used to waking up the morning after a game. How different was that feeling the day after playing in that heat?
So fortunately for me, I played like a few preseason games over in America in this type of heat before coming here. So I would have said I was maybe a bit better prepared than the other girls who knew what was coming. But we do think we weigh ourselves before the game and weigh ourselves after the game, obviously, to see how much water weight we lose. So then that gives us a good indication of what we need to take on board in order to fully recover. And I think that the medical staff have done a really good job in helping us do that.
Just actually on that, I mean, do you know exactly how much weight you would lose during the game?
So I think I was 1 kg for the Georgia game. There was a bit of problem with the scales. I thought it was 3 kg at first, and I was like, that doesn't seem too right. So then, yeah, I think 1 kg it was.
Okay. Well, look, best of luck next Monday.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mark Dara.
Hi, Roma. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Can you talk to us a little bit about your club status? So obviously you're with the Blue Devils previously, and you've moved to the Diffusion. And you talked there about pre-season, so I was a bit unsure as to when the season starts for you. Can you maybe talk us through that move? Because obviously you came to the end of your scholarship with the Blue Devils.
Yeah, so I completed my 4 years and graduated from college there, but I have the opportunity to start my masters with the Blue Devils and potentially play another season. So if I was to do that, then the season would start in August, and that would be pre-season. But at the minute, just to keep my fitness levels up and make sure I'm getting game time and training, I'm playing on a summer team, and that's the Fusion that you just talked about. So I think playing with the Fusion before coming in here has definitely helped me in a way where I'm prepared. And then when I go back to America, if I do, I will be playing with the Blue Devils for another season.
It gives you an option then going forward, maybe to stay in the States or come back to play in Europe after that.
Yeah, it gives me either option. So I'm honestly open to doing anything once I finish my studies. I'm open to going anywhere, to be honest.
And you're able to chat to, there's plenty of people in the squad who are playing in various locations. Obviously, Denise was mentioned there. There's a number of players playing in the States, number of players playing in continental Europe, WSL. So are you chatting to people to pick their brains as to what their experiences are like at a club level?
Yeah, we're all constantly having chats about it. I think it's great for me that I can do that, and I can use all the girls and find out about their different experiences. So I'm very fortunate on that part that they can all chip in and give me a hand.
Just finally for me, it's quite a long training camp. Actually, Vera and Tom have the time to go through. When there was the training camp, the Pinatar Cup earlier in the year, it was kind of game. I don't think it was a lot of time on the training ground, but you've really been able to take the time to go through, particularly probably on a tactical basis as well as a fitness basis for some people like yourself who are kind of in a bit of a pre-season.
Yeah, it's really great. I think someone said this morning we're a week into camp and we have a week to go. So it's the Philippines game was a really, really important thing for us, where we could get game rhythm and we could get used to playing with each other again, because obviously I haven't started and played in the international game in a long time. So it was important for me to get rhythm playing with the girls again, and obviously I can do that when training as well. So it's been a good week on the training pitch as well too.
Super. Thanks very much. Best of luck in the game.
Thank you.
Emma Duffy.
Hey Roma, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. You spoke about there obviously not playing an international or starting an international game in quite some time. How did you find that kind of, was it a big step up? Like, did you notice a huge difference from playing with, say, the Blue Devils or with Fusion, like, or what were the differences?
Yeah, the intensity level was obviously much higher, but as I said, like leading up to this camp, I played quite a few intense games in the heat, where I think that definitely helped me. But definitely intensity level here with your senior international team is higher than playing, say, your Blue Devils team or over in America for me.
And like, is there anything that you do yourself, I suppose, to bring that extra edge? I know obviously Vera speaks an awful lot about training with or playing against boys. Is there anything you do extra to try and bridge that gap a bit?
Whenever I do get my time at home in Donegal, I sometimes train with our senior men's team, Greencastle. And you can notice like that the intensity there is probably well matched to coming in and training in camp. So I think that's definitely something that stands for me.
Absolutely. And then last one for me, Roma. I know it's probably not something that players really pay too much attention to, but obviously last week moved up the world rankings to 27th, which is really impressive. That's a nice little boost as well. And I suppose just the upward trajectory that this team is on, you can take a lot of confidence from that.
Definitely. I think that's an amazing achievement, moving up 3 spaces, and it just shows that this team is moving forward. And like I said before, sitting at home watching the Sweden game, I was so proud. And I almost felt like I was there playing with them in every move. I was so happy.
Cheers, Roma. Well done the other day, and best of luck next week.
Thank you.
Andrew Dempsey.
Hey Roma, how's things?
Hey, good. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Look, I think you kind of alluded to it about a couple of minutes ago, but obviously you were away for quite a while in terms of the international setting. I suppose from your perspective, it must just be good to be back in the squad on a regular basis.
It really is. I remember, I think it was this time last year, my first call up under Vera against Iceland. I remember the feeling of that, and it was kind of a bit of relief to think, oh, not that they remember me, but I'm still in the mix, or I can go and improve myself now again. And I think I'm grateful for that, and I'm really happy to have been here and start a game and get 90 minutes under my belt.
Did it feel like you were, I don't know, like obviously playing in the States? I know playing college football, I know maybe that didn't help you in that sense, but did it feel like you were a bit away from the international conversation for a while? And like I know obviously you've gone and just developed your other skills elsewhere, but did you think maybe that did hold you back in that sense?
I do think so, yeah. Obviously in the back of your mind, I think it was 2-3 years where I wasn't called in. In the back of your mind, you're questioning whether you will be called in, or if your chance will come again. And fortunately enough, I proved myself to get back into the squad. So for that, I'm very happy.
Yeah, I suppose you're probably a good person to ask, but obviously the team obviously has developed quite a lot since you were last in the squad. What's the main difference you've noticed from, I suppose, your previous time when you were in the squad to now?
I think there's a real feeling of togetherness. Like everybody is in it with each other, and we know what we want to do, and we know how we've got to work to get there.
Yeah, and I suppose just lastly then, I asked Courtney this the last time, but what would qualification for a major tournament mean for you and this group?
Oh, I think it would just be amazing. I couldn't really explain it, but it would just show that everyone's hard work behind the scenes, like girls in previous years have helped to get here, and for everyone, I think the staff included, it would just be probably one of the highlights.
Well, that's great. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Mark McCadden.
Roma, hi, how are you?
Hi Mark, I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks. First one, did you get yourself an agent? Last time we were talking to you, you said you might need one.
I'm still working on that, because if I was to stay in college in America, you're obviously, they have NCAA rules where you're not particularly allowed that. So I still have to decide between the two.
Okay, tell us, you're playing with the Fusion now, and this is a summer league, isn't it?
Yeah, it's summer team.
So what's next for you beyond this? Do you know?
So I have the option to start my masters and to also play another season with Central, the Blue Devils. So I'm still weighing up my options to see what will maybe work out best for me in the long term. But if I was to stay there, we would start in August, obviously pre-season, and I would get a lot of games under my belt, so it'll be a good game rhythm for me, I think.
Yeah. What the alternatives are? What, to kind of turn to Europe or to look at the NWSL? Is that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Return to Europe.
When do you kind of have to make a decision?
Very soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have you any idea which way you're swinging at this stage, or?
Not very sure. I think in the football world, you have to be willing to make your last minute decisions and figure out what's best for you.
Yeah. And look, I suppose at this stage, your kind of mind is elsewhere. It's not on your college or your club career at the moment. It's on.
Yeah, once you're in camp, it's kind of just, you try to forget about all that outside of camp and focus on what's important now.
Yeah. How do you feel you did on Sunday?
I was quite happy with my performance. I just tried to get on the ball and keep it simple and get my confidence level up, obviously, because I haven't played in a while at international level, or at least for that long a period. So I thought I did quite well. Yeah,
and you feel that between that and your training so far, you feel you're giving Vera something to think about?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Come here, listen, you've answered a lot of questions on other topics as well, so I'll leave it at that, and cheers and best of luck now for
All right, thank you very much.
I'm okay, Gareth. Cheers.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah, go on, Dave.
Good morning. Just on that decision-making process, though, I mean, the fact you're in the camp now after being out for pretty much so long, I know you had injuries before Vera came in, and you spoke there about being almost out of sight, out of mind. Despite your form being good, I presume your form is pretty good and hasn't fluctuated that much recently. So does that really maybe influence it now that, you know, you probably have to be closer to home to kind of get into the Irish thoughts a bit more?
I think while I was in America is when I got a call up, and I've been in here a year now, and I think, and I hope that Vera knows what I can do and what I'm capable of. But yeah, I think somewhat making a move closer to home might benefit me more in the long run.
And just briefly, I know you probably told me before, but excuse my ignorance, it's an everyday occurrence for me. Your college career and now your masters, which I guess I'm intimating, you said earlier you were starting next year to remain at your club. What element of education is that? What field are you in?
So I studied exercise science for 4 years.
Okay.
And then I would do my master's physical education and exercise science.
Physical education in what, sorry?
Exercise science.
Okay, that's seems to be very broad. Is there a focus to it, or is it a very wide discipline?
So there's a few like jobs I could go into, maybe strength and conditioning, PE teaching. It gives you a wide variety of choice on what you can go into in the next.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much, and go well.
Thank you.